First challenger of the comeback, lost first round of qualies. Second challenger of the comeback, qualified, got smoked in the first round. Third challenger of the comeback, qualified, beat the #1 seed in the first round and reached my first ever quarterfinals in a challenger at a young age of 30 years old. So in today's video, let's recap my best ever result at a challenger and what it means for my career going forward. Welcome back to another episode of Turning Pro at 30. What's up everyone, Karue here, and I'm happy to share with you guys that I reached my first ever quarterfinal in a challenger event. This is a great stepping stone for my career, and I hope the first of many. So let's recap this week in Porto Alegre in the motherland, Brazil, which to be totally honest, only happened because of a mistake on my end. You see, it was a bit of a mistake because I was not planning on going to Brazil during that week. I was planning on going to Jalapa, Mexico to play a 25K that was gonna be played at the same week. But I made a scheduling error. So quickly, to sign up to pro events, players use two different systems. For futures that are run by the ITF, we use iPin. And for ATP events, we use the ATP Player Zone. I won't get too technical about this during this video, but in short, ATP events always take priority over ITF events. Meaning that if I'm signed up for two different events, one an ITF and one an ATP event in the same week, if I do get in the acceptance list, even the qualifying, on the ATP event, it will automatically remove me from the ITF event. So when the Porto Alegre acceptance list came out and I was in the qualifyings already, it automatically removed me from Jalapa. So I had no choice but to go to Brazil, otherwise I would have no events to play. And to be even more honest, I almost didn't go. I hadn't played on red clay for so long, I wasn't sure if the trip even made sense. But at the same time, I couldn't just be sitting at home training and not playing for weeks on end, so I just committed. And guys, if you're enjoying this series, Turning Pro 30, if you're new here, we've got a playlist, you can watch all of them. But please give this video a thumbs up, it really helps us. And the links in the description also help me. You can buy my stream, the K-pop and the K-Pro. You can buy some merch, and we got some discount codes, all kinds of good stuff, so go check out our description box. I got there on Friday, I had a couple days to train, and on Sunday, the tournament started. So let's get to the good stuff, let's go over the match. In the first round of qualies, I played Tunisian player Aziz Owaka. It was my first match on red clay in a long time, so going into it, I was for sure a bit tight, I'm not gonna lie. I ended up playing a pretty flawless match. I was serving and returning really well. And I was controlling the baseline with my shots. I grew up playing on clay, so I think my natural instincts just kicked in. Obviously, playing on clay requires you to be more patient, to work the points a lot more, to use a variety of heights, of drop shots, of speeds, spins. And as I got used to that again, it honestly felt pretty fun playing on it because you know, sometimes on hardcore the matches can be so like bang, 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 like serve, first ball, points over. Where on clay you have to work the point, get a lot of reps and you know, use all of your tools. I won the match 6-1, 6-0 and moved into the final round of qualies.
Game, set, match, sell, 2-0.
My final round of qualies was an absolute war. I played a fellow Brazilian, Gabriel de Campos. He's a former top 300 player. He's also resuming his career after a short break. I don't have any footage of this match because we got moved into indoors that day. There was a lot of rain. But to sum it up, I played a really good first set. I was locked in, just taking control of the match. I won the first set 6-1. I was feeling good, and I think I got maybe almost a little too comfortable with the match. I started making a couple errors. And let up the intensity early in the second set, which put me down a break 3-0 pretty quickly, and I was never able to come back. The third set was very mentally demanding. We traded a few breaks. No one could really grab momentum. I'm not gonna lie, my calves were cramping a little bit early on. But at 4-all in the third, I played a great game to break him. and I served it out confidently, qualified for the main draw. In the main draw, there are qualifier spots, and whoever qualifies gets picked at random in what spot they're gonna land in the draw. My name was picked first, and the first spot was against the #1 seed and top 200 player Frenchman Calvin Henry. Again, we had to play indoors because of the rain. It was a night match, was the last match of the day. It started late, probably around 8 p.m. Here's how he went. Let's break it down a little bit. After a couple easy holds, I broke him at 2-1 and took control of the first set. At 4-2, I was able to play another good return game, get that security break. And close it out as 6-2. After winning the first set, I started feeling it. I was just in flow state. Everything felt like it was going in, including shots like this. I broke his serve, held my serve, and as I was closing into a second break, my opponent got upset at a missed call from the referee. He decided to stop playing and call the supervisor as he was upset with the referee. I don't really want to get into it. I think some people that watched the match commented that was bad sportsmanship. I don't really care. I just honestly didn't allow it to bother me, and I just kind of waited until it was over. There was nothing that could be done really to resolve the situation. We just had to keep playing, so I just kind of waited until we resumed the match. And when we resumed, I was still able to get the break. Here, things got a little interesting. Obviously, you know, I'm about to beat the #1 seed to win my first round in a challenger in a long time. So I created a little bit of tension on myself. I ended up getting broken at 3-0. But mentally, I didn't let that bother me. And I was able to break right back to go up 4-1 serving. So at this point, I just wanted to end this match, not leave any room for a comeback, and I locked in and I was able to finish with one more break and win 6-2, 6-1. Looking back, I just played a really solid match all around. I served great. I returned it was probably my best day returning of the tournament. As I've said here on the channel, serving and returning is so important. When you're starting the point with more quality than your opponent more often, it just frees you up. Everything else just feels easier. Couple that with the rhythm that I already had from playing qualifiers, I just probably couldn't have played a better match. 6-2, 6-1 for my first challenger main draw win in 6 years. And guys, just a quick break here to thank today's video sponsor, Huel. Given my practice schedule, it's not easy to prepare my own meals, but I still want to make sure I'm eating healthy and getting all the necessary vitamins and nutrients. Well, today's sponsor, Huel, is here to help with that. Huel is no prep meals that do not compromise your health. Huel is ideal for when you're pressed for time, on the go, in a rush, or away from the kitchen. All you need is cold water and you have a convenient and nourishing meal within seconds. I love the Huel's Black Edition, which is their low carb, high protein powdered meal. It has 40 grams of protein plus 27 essential vitamins and minerals. It's plant-based, gluten-free, and has no artificial sweeteners. Huel's products are designed by nutritionists and dietitians to give your body everything it needs from a healthy meal in an extremely easy and convenient way. In short, you'll get a highly nutritious breakfast or lunch for only $2.50 a meal. Personally, I love to use Heal as my pre-practice meal. I don't like to eat a lot before practices. I don't like the feeling of having my stomach full. So now I have Heal before my practice sessions. I feel great. They have a ton of flavors. My favorite one is this one, chocolate, of course. If you want to save money, save time, and eat healthy, use code MyTennisHQ15 for 15% off your first Heal order plus a free t-shirt and a shaker at $40 value. That's code MyTennisHQ15, no spaces, for 15% off your first order. Link in description. Having a busy life should not stop you from eating healthy. So check out Heal today, link in the description. After a day off, I played Brazilian Pedro Boscardin Diaz for a spot in the quarterfinals. It's an opportunity to reach my first ever quarterfinal at this level. So I guess, again, you can get in your head a little bit about that. But I wasn't thinking about that. I just wanted to get the job done. This is a straightforward win. I had a lot of confidence going into it. I had 3 matches already under my belt, beat the #1 seed, so I was feeling good. In the first set, I went up 3-0 quickly, set the tone early. And finished that set 6-3 comfortably. And in the second set, I upped the tempo and the urgency in there. I didn't want to make a mistake of making this match more complicated than it needed to be on that day. And I sprinted to a 6-0 second set there, won my second round, 6-3, 6-0. And in the quarterfinals, I played Argentinian Facundo Mena. I've known Facundo since the junior days, playing South America. He's been the top 130 player in the world, I believe. And this match was an absolute war, so let's recap. We both held confidently until 4-all in the first set. Facundo has a great serve. He was making it a lot harder to break than in my previous matches. And then at 4-all, I ended up playing a very poor game on my service game and got broken. The 5-4 game was absolutely epic. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Let's just watch it. an unbelievable game there to not lose the first set and tie it back to 5-all. We both held to 6-all to get to a tiebreaker, which again was super epic. So let's watch it.
Set 6.
And after about an hour and a half, I was able to get the first set and win it 7-6. In the second set, we traded a few breaks, but we eventually got to what I believe is the most important game of the match. 3-all, Facundo was serving, and we played another epic game, so let's watch it. Finally, after a lot of hard work, I got the break.
Game sale.
So now it's 4-3, I'm serving, I'm 2 holds away from getting into the semifinals. But there's a little bit of an issue. That 3-all game wiped me out. I knew I was running low on gas after that long first set and obviously a long week. And I wanted to close this match out in 2 sets. So obviously getting that break meant a lot. But as I sat down on that changeover, I was like, fuck, I don't know if I have anything left in the tank. It's obviously just winning 2 more games, but as I got up and went to serve, I was like in a fog. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do here because I just felt so empty. My shots lost a little bit of pace. I might have lost a little bit of intensity, and I think he noticed and he just made me work for everything from that point on. Again, mentally, it's just a little bit foggy. I wasn't able to push through just that feeling of being tired. And unfortunately, I just wasn't able to close the match out. Facundo locked in. He saw the momentum change there. He, and made me work for it and kept things physical. And he just kind of noticed that physically I had gone away. And unfortunately, I lost, 9 out of the last 10 games. Ended up losing 6-7, 6-4, 6-1.
Game, set, and match.
Reflecting back on the week, and especially on this quarterfinal match, It's really unfortunate that I wasn't able to push through the end there. The little voice in my head that kept saying, you're too exhausted, got way too loud and it cost me the match. Realistically, I probably had more left in the tank than what I felt. So I need to learn that, you know, again, when that little voice comes in, I just kind of need to tell it to fuck off. It was obviously a long week, 5 singles matches, 2 doubles matches, a lot of waiting around because of rain and all that. But I can't allow that to be an excuse. I can't let that voice be too loud. Just kind of have to tough it out in those moments. That being said, it was still a really good week, especially in terms of level. I'm obviously proud of the result, but I'm happier about how I managed like my mental side this week. I truly was having fun on court. I was trusting my game, my shot making, my intuition, which made me like very present during the match. I wasn't too worried about the result. I also wasn't too worried about things that happened in the past. And I truly hadn't felt like that on court for some time now. I mentioned that in the last video. And that's when I know I'm the most dangerous, when I'm flowing like that, I'm present, then I'm just kind of letting it fly.
Out. Game held.
But in general, this week gives me confidence that my level is there. I have the tennis to play at this level. Obviously, I still need to continue to improve my fitness. I took a long time off from tennis, so still getting back into shape. And also, once you start playing a lot, you don't have as much time to work with Andrew from Fit for Tennis here in LA. And continue to put in that work. So now that I have a couple weeks off and I'll be in LA, fitness will be my main priority. Because of this week, I'm almost top 500. So what does that mean for my career? The reality is I just have to keep chipping away at the rankings. I will continue to mix in futures and challengers. Ideally, I would like to only play challengers if I'm in the main draw, not having to go through qualifying. So at the 500 ranking, I feel like I can be seated in the 25Ks, at least in some of them. But at the same time, I can get in the main draw of some of this 50K. So looking at the calendar ahead, there is actually some more 50Ks coming up in South America on clay, which now I'm not too scared of. So I might go back down there to play. I might stay here and play some future events. There's going to be a lot of stuff in California. But the reality is I just got to break to that 350 range where it will get me to most main draws of challengers. All in all, it was a really great week in Porto Alegre. My first quarterfinals. My parents were actually there watching. A lot of fans came out to support, so shout out to all the Brazilian fans at the Leopoldina. And to actually do that in Brazil after such a long time being away, it's pretty cool. Sadly, however, the state of Rio Grande do Sul, where Porto Alegre is located, suffered from horrific floods because of the heavy rain all week. We were lucky to not be affected, but thousands and thousands of people lost everything. I will leave a link below if you'd like to help the victims of the flood. It's down there. To everyone affected by it, stay strong. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.